Hello and welcome back to the black metal promo. Today we're gonna talking about a history of true Norwegian black metal band Taake. Taake differentiate themselves from other black metal band and become one of the more popular fan base in underground scene. Taake is a Norwegian black metal band from Bergen, formed in 1993 and originally named Thule. The band's one continuous member is Hoist, who writes all and records most of the music. Band has released from beginning to until 7 full-length albums and several EP. Taake play classic black metal styles like Dark Throne, which I love. The band describes itself as true Norwegian black metal, and Hoist said that he wants to awaken national pride and cultural nostalgia in my Norwegian listeners, as well as to remind people that hell is right here on earth, and that humans can be demons. All lyrics are in Hoist's native dialect, and are printed in Norse runes. The name Taake is the old spelling of the Norwegian word take, meaning fog. In 1993, Orhenstigsberg, Hoist, then known as Ulveeden, formed the first version of the band, Taake, under the name Thule, together with drummer Svartalv. Thule released 2 demos, Der Vinterstormeni Rast in 1993 and Omfavnet av Svartvinger in 1994. Shortly after, the band changed its name to Taake and Ulveeden adopted the new pseudonym, Hoist, meaning autumn or harvest. Taake released demo, Mandagsvinter in 1995 and this was followed in 1996 by a 7 EP called, Koldbrun I Jesu Marg. Between 1999 and 2005, Taake released 3 full-length albums. They are a trilogy of concept albums linked by the topics of death, Norway, and the devil in man. Taake released first full-length album Nattested ser porten vida, English, Nighttime Sees the Gate Wide, by Wounded Love Records in 1999. The album was written entirely by Hoist, but he brought in a session musician, Tundra, to perform bass and drums. Nattested is part 1 of a trilogy. All the writing on the CD and lyrics in the booklet are written in runes, all the lyrics are sung in Norwegian. In my opinion, Taake is the only band which managed to keep the spirit of true Norwegian black metal alive to this. This album is pretty like hell. All of the songs carry a beautiful melody which I must admit, uncharacteristic for black metal, but it fits great into Taake's music. The drum work is relatively versatile. It's kept interesting by transitions between blast beats and slower paced rhythms. On January 1, 2002, Taake released the second album, Over Bjoergvin Greater Himmerik, English, Heaven Cries Over Bergen, my second favorite album. It is the second concept album of trilogy. The album, from beginning to end, is nothing short of a masterpiece. A small guitar fade in and you're on your way to a fantastic listening experience. The first track is simultaneously brutal and melodic, and just has an amazing feel to it. Then the rest of the album follows suit. On this record, Hoist surrounded himself with a band, second guitarist C. Korux, bassist and pianist Kiridwin, and drummer Mutt. The vocals are pretty ruthless. Hoist does an awesome job from beginning to end. Not a whole lot of variance here, but he keeps the music intense and stimulating throughout, so there is nothing negative to be said. The guitar riffs are very folkyish, but in a way that never, ever makes you think that this is anything other than pure and true black metal. For me, the standout tracks are parts I, 6 Seriously, Part 4, From Beginning to End is one of the greatest black metal songs ever written. Everything about it was just perfect. And the end was so fucking epic that I can't explain it. The final installment of the trilogy, Hordalands doedskvad, English, Death Poems of Hordaland, was released in 2005 by Dark Essence Records. It features second guitarist C. Korux, bassist Lava and drummer Mord. It also features several guest vocalists, including Nat Efrost, of Carpathian Forest, Nordavind, of Carpathian Forest, and Typan, of Orchestus. Hordaland doedskvad starts with a scream that pleasantly announces the total ass-kicking. Hoist has further infused folkish sounds into his riffs, while keeping true to the black metal style of previous work. Part I is an incredibly amazing anthem, but more is yet to come. Every damn track on Hordaland doedskvad actually sounds fantastic and has something exceptional to offer. After third album, Taake released 4 short EPs, and played a few festivals, most notably the Hole in the Sky Festival in Norway, with Ivar Bjørnson of Enslaved on guitar, but according to host, Taake was on ice for a while. Before the 2006 to 2007 European tour, Taake revamped their official homepage. Following the infamous March 2007 show in Essen, the band were removed from several festivals and received much backlash. At the same time, Lava, who had been bass guitarist since 2002, left the band. Hoist served prison sentences for assault in 2006 and 2007. In March 2007, during a concert at Essen in Germany, Hoist appeared on stage in corpse paint with a swastika painted on his chest, above an inverted cross. In Germany, the use of the swastika is forbidden by law, and the Taake's German concerts were cancelled. Shortly after, Hoist stated, "Taake is not a political Nazi band. Everyone should know by now that our whole concept is built upon provocation and anything evil. We truly apologize to all of our collaborators who might get problems, because of the Essen swastika scandal, except for the Untermensch owner of that club. You can go suck a Muslim." Hoist later explained that he was taking the piss and had used the swastika only as another symbol for evil, saying, "The pentagram and inverted cross don't invoke reactions anymore." Music writer Stuart Wayne likened Hoist's actions to those of the Sex Pistols and Susie Sue, who also wore swastikas for shock value. In January 2008, Hoist wrote, "I do realize that it is rather unforgivable to display a swastika in Germany, yes. On the other hand, I strongly feel that black metal bands should allow themselves to use any kind of destructive and negative symbolism, as the basis of this expression is above all evil. Black metal is still not, and should never become, harmless like all other styles of housebroke metal. Frankly, I find it preposterous that we get away with lyrics about murder, torture, rape, necrophilia and suicide, but get boycotted for wearing a symbol, which by the way, has nothing to do with the band's concept, on one single occasion. A part of our mission is to invoke negative feelings, so I found it quite appropriate to remind our German audience of their biggest shame." In 2008, a 4th album was released, recorded entirely by Hoist and simply named, Taake. The album was recorded for Hoist's own label, Svarte Kunstproduktioner, and was distributed via Dark Essence Records. This album is complete, done by Hoist: vocals, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, bass guitar, drums. Taake is fairly long album, closed within 46 minutes in its normal edition, and with additional few minutes for the LP version, as it contains a burzum cover. The front artwork, which depicts Hoist's photography, is simple, but very effective. The vinyl actually has a different front cover photo than the CD version, but I really like both of them. The one from the CD version comes on the huge poster, which this double LP includes. Simple, but damn effective, and so traditional for black metal releases, as if you think how many classic Norwegian albums had band photography on the cover, starting with A Blaze in the Northern Sky, through Pure Holocaust and the finishing off with Rebel Extravaganza. Track, Atternatt, is definitely my favorite song from the whole album. Its structure is quite simple, but very effective, and it has some killer riffing, beginning with fast and relentless part, which is just amazing. Track, Felgbort Livet, is the final song, but I forgot that the vinyl version of Taake contains Burzum's, a lost forgotten sad spirit cover. And as you can only imagine and expect, it has been performed even better than the original, especially as it got a very good production, something what the original lacks a bit. I must say I like this cover a lot, especially as Hoist added some of his personal touch to it, and it sounds great with his vocals, which are actually quite close to Varg's. This the first album of Taake which to feature all original song titles rather than chapters, or parts. Anyone who enjoys almost thrashy black metal, Ike Carpathian Forests Fuck You All, with catchy hooks, rhythm, and raw energy should definitely look into this. Hoest has never put out anything less than superb. Taake released their fifth full-length album, Noregs Vaapen, English Norway's Weapon, in 2011. For this album Hoest collaborated with many prominent Norwegian black metalists for this record including, Atternatt, Nocturno Culto, Demonaz and Ivar Bjørnson. It was again released on his own label, Svarte Kunstproduksjoner. The album was nominated for the prestigious Spellemann Award in Norway for Top Metal Release. This nomination was met with some derision due to anti-Islamic lyrics in their song Orkan. It includes the line Til helvete med Muhammad og Mohammedanerne, Utilgivelig skikker, to hell with Muhammad and the Muhammadans, unforgivable customs. Hoest replied regarding this track that we do not encourage either violence or racism, adding our view, in the name of freedom of expression, is that it is shameful to adhere to Christianity or Islam. Incidentally, Christianity is mentioned in the same lyrics, but that doesn't seem to have been given any emphasis. Noregs Vaapen basically takes the style of the self-titled, executes it more confidently and adds some surprising but effective experimentation to top things off. One of the factors that has always set Taake's music apart is, Hoest's desire to expand his songwriter outside of normally accepted parameters, whether it be through complex and unorthodox arrangements or genuine. Lyrically, Noregs Vaapen is a paean to cult Norwegian nationalism, hailing the virtues of pagan progenitors while worshipping the northern sky, excoriating religion, and doffing its cap to Satan. The tremendous, authentic, and absurd banjo solo in Mir is just freaking awesome. The track Norbundet involves more rhythm and a rock-oriented song structure that can be considered similar to a band like Cold, also a highly acclaimed Norwegian black metal outfit. By far this is Taake's best release to date. Noregs Vaapen is intense, fast-paced black metal. I liked it better than the other albums because I felt all the pieces of the music fit best here. Guitars, drums, vocals all sounded dialed into me, not production value, just that all the music flowed well together. Black metal fans won't find anything too unconventional here, except for the use of a banjo, which really sounds pretty cool in the song, much better than a kazoo or whatever was on a previous album. I consider this a fine album and worth 5 stars compared to previous releases. To mark the band's 20th anniversary, Taake released the compilation album Gravkamera, Kroner og Troner in 2013. Taake played their first show in the United States in May 2014 at Maryland Death Fest in Baltimore. In 2014, Taake released the 6th full-length album, Stridens Hus, English, House of Strife, and the EP, Kulda, through Dark Essence Records. The first 3 tracks on Stridens Hus are genuinely good, Taake material, weaving together a lot of the old and a touch of the new. Around the halfway mark it disappointingly starts falling apart, as the quality deteriorates into a somewhat jumbled mess of ideas. Of course this was never going to be the spiritual successor to doedskvad, and there are some great parts throughout the album, but the unfocused lack of coherence mixed with the uninspired thrashy sections makes Stridens Hus an embodiment of going 1 step forwards and 2 steps back. As a result, this is merely an okay black metal album, and a weak one coming from Taake. In this album Taake delves a little into black and roll, which I hate black and roll, but a lot of people would hang me for saying, I know it's technically not as good as the last. For me the memorable songs would be the 4th song, because it has such a hilarious title stank, and then the 2nd song, is probably the best for me, Steak, which is very good, the riffs are very badass, and this album has a weird thing where it'll actually have little breakdowns, that sound very unorthodox for black metal instead of going like, or something. It has very weird Celtic. In support of this record and as a follow-up to their successful show in Maryland, Taake announced an East Coast US tour for the first time in their history, to begin in June 2015. In 2017, Taake released their 7th studio album, Kong Vinter, English King Winter, along with the EP Battenker. Hoest created all the music for Kong Winter himself, along with being the main vocalist. While the general structure of the songs come from rock and roll, and mainly the roots of earlier Norwegian black metal styles similar to Mayhem and Venom, the vocals are specific, and Hoest has a very powerful presence surrounding everything he does that thrives as completely badass evil. The track Jernhond, which probably is my favorite track on the album, I love its Darthronish parts combined with classic and talk type of riffage, fast pace, and cold, grim, misanthropic black metal aura. There's also Frab Bjoergvin Mot Glemzelen, which is an instrumental, 10 minutes long, epic song, which has some truly amazing harmonies. The track in Trenger is also great, even though it's much slower. But there's this cold, vicious, and ultimately grim black metal, which Taake is best at. Great atmosphere, great riffs, great vocals, that's what I like. In Trenger has very hypnotizing feel as well, with the way the riffs flow, especially in the opening, instrumental part of the song. In 2018 Taake were forced to cancel their planned US tour after Antifa activists campaigned to stop it, due to the past controversies which happened in 2007, the band's lead singer Hoest performed with a swastika on his chest. The band also has lyrics that have been interpreted as anti-Muslim and being Nazi banned. So this is the history of Taake. I hope you guys like it. If you enjoy my videos, do like, share and subscribe to the Black Metal Promo.